Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today we have Fairy Nectar from Kros Brewing. It's an American style IPA, 6.2% alcohol, 62 IBUs. It gets a 3.92 on Untapped. The description on Untapped reads, aromatic hops and notes of grapefruit, mango, and tropical goodness fill this tasty IPA, leaving very little bitterness behind. My youngest two are playing. The white one is Artemis. The black one is Luna. Luna does like to play with him. Not nearly, and you are crooked as fuck. Not nearly as much as he likes to play with her. Anyways, this is one of my top 3 favorite IPAs on the planet. And it is from right here in Omaha, Nebraska. They're getting at it. Okay. Is there any description on here? No. Just got like the warning. Nebraska fresh. Alright. It was about time for me to kill this last bottle. When I bought this, I did it because I had heard so much about how good Fairy Nectar was. And so I was like, you know what, even though they only do bottles, I will pick it up. Excuse me. And I did it, and like the last one, this is my last bottle of the beer. And I think you are still crooked. I think you're fine now. I hate to disorient you. Anyways. So on the nose, I definitely get those hops. I get some of that grapefruit. It's my second youngest. Definitely get that grapefruit on the nose. We started with maybe 2 fingers worth of head. And it's kind of coating the glass there. But it's all very tightly compact bubbles, little bubbles. There's some coming up from the bottom. Just like any other IPA, really. See through it, but it's just shadow. I did that stuff out of order. Oh my goodness. So I didn't rate all 5 of the others. I rated it 4 times. And I started out at 4, went to stayed at 4, then went to 4.25, and then 4.5. And I think the last time I had it, I was thinking 4.5 as well. So you know where I'm going to be with this. Probably. There's a juiciness to this, though, and it's just a regular IPA. It's definitely got that bitterness right up front. Hits you with that hop sting right away. Grapefruit. What is it? Grapefruit? I don't even know what I said. Grapefruit is throughout. Mango is very much a hint at the end. Like, you have to be looking for that mango to taste that on the very end of this beer. But yeah, you get that hop bitterness right away. Mango is throughout. Or not mango, sorry. Grapefruit is throughout. And you get a touch of that mango on the very end. It's just so beautiful. It's so crisp. Like, to me, I'm not a hop head, as I say in every video of this channel, because it seems like most of what I've done is IPA, because that's what most of the market is. But now I barely have IPAs in the fridge. But anyways, I'm not, but I still find this to be one of the best IPAs I have ever had. Like, I never say like, you have to try this. If you are a hop head, you have to try this. If it is possible for you to get this, do it. Like, I know for most people around the country, the only way for you to get this would be in a trade, unless you happen to be coming through Omaha. Because I have no idea. I don't think they even... excuse me. I don't think they even distribute outside of Nebraska. But I wouldn't... At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if that changes rapidly. They just had their 1-year anniversary. It was a little over a month ago, I want to say. Because I was there at the brewery for that and didn't realize it was going to be until, well, hey, I'm here. Well, we're having a party for our 1 year. Can't argue that. I just wish I would have been there. I wish I would have started at this fucking place. Because no matter the time of the day, what I had there wasn't going to change. I still feel like I would have been able to get the Milkshake New England style IPA from them later. I'd have gotten drunk as fuck, though, because there was nothing I had that there might have been things I didn't get that I had. But they were tapping a Baltic Porter at 4 o'clock, an Imperial Stout at 6 o'clock. I was already over at pint 9 by the time either one of those were tapped. No, I've never had... I don't believe I've had anything darker and more my type from Kros Strain. But I will say I've had a lot of styles that aren't typically my type. And I love Kros Strain. Kros Strain is my second favorite brewery around here. As you can probably tell by my channel, Brickway is my favorite brewery around here. But I will say this. Kros Strain does more different beers. Brickway kind of does their core beers, and then they have a big beer series. I don't notice too much of them doing like one-off beers, which Kros Strain seems to do a lot. It tells you a lot if you go to a brewery and in their tap room they have 20, 25, 30 tap handles. And all of them are unique beers. Most of them are theirs. Brickway has, I want to say, 10 or 15 tap handles. And what I love about Brickway is, even though like their main lineup is a Pilsner, a Hefeweizen, they have a coffee vanilla stout, an Indian Pale Lager, other things, but But even that main series of beer, like, I'll take their main series of beers over Boulevard's any day. And I've had them about as much as I've had Boulevard's main series of beers. And their big beer series, forget about it. Now, I love Boulevard Smokestack series. Boulevard is what I can equate it to, because Boulevard has their main series, and then they have a big smokestack, the big series, which is their smokestack. Brickway has the Bison beers, but definitely for the, regular beers, their main lineup, I would vastly take Brickway over Boulevard. But we're not here to gush about Brickway as much as I love to gush about Brickway. We are here to gush about Cross Strain. Before I had gone to their brewery, this was the only thing I'd had. I fell in love with them off of just this beer. Like I said, I'm not a hophead, but I fell in love with them off of this. And have I had 13 different beers or just rated beers from them 13 times? I had their Rye So Bitter, Dark Paradise Project, Java Coffee, Hottest Hellies, which the longer I think about it, the more I feel like I gave Hottest Hellies an unjust rating of 3.5. And I still feel like, even though it was way over my palate for heat, I still probably should have given it about a 4-star. Dark Paradise Amber Ale, Qualiteers Project. Oh my god, that was my second favorite sour I've ever had. Fairy Nectar London, Hop Shake. Oh, I thought milkshake. Sorry, Hop Shake. Hop Shake, absolutely incredible. Helly's Creek, Super Juice, which is their double IPA, which is really good too. Seriously, here, look, you won't look because I'm not going to show you the page, but Fairy Nectar 4 stars, Fairy Nectar 4 stars, Fairy Nectar 4.5 or 4.25 stars, Fairy Nectar 4.5 stars, Super Juice 4.5 stars, Helly's Creek 4.5 stars, Hop Shake 5 stars, Fairy Nectar London Fairy Nectar London Double Dry Hopped 4.25, Qualiteers Project 5 stars, Dark Paradise Amber Ale 4.5 stars, Hottest Hellies 3.5, and I feel like I gave that a little bit of a low rating because I did enjoy it. It was just too hot for my palate, and that's not a knock on the beer. That's just fuck my palate. Dark Paradise Project Java Coffee 4.5, Rye So Bitter 3.5. I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different beers. Ten different beers from Cross Strain. And 3.5 is the lowest rating. If you nick out the last two, 4.25 is the lowest rating, or 4. 4 is the lowest rating. The bottom two, not the last two. I say, seriously, pick this up if you can try it. Seriously, if you can get your hands on anything by Cross Strain, don't forget that name, Cross Strain. Incredible beer. Brickway, I don't know. Brickway is honestly my favorite company around here. But I think the company with the most upside is Cross Strain. The biggest reason why I say they have a bigger upside, both brew incredible beers. They have this. You know what Brickway has for an IPA? They have a double. I don't know if Brickway has a single IPA. They have an Indian Pale Lager. but they don't have an IPA. As far as I'm aware. But yeah, for this, I'm gonna stick with 4.25. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick with 4.5. Would I buy another 6-pack of this? Even though it only comes in bottles, yes, I would buy another 6-pack. I actually want to buy another 6-pack. I actually want to buy another 6-pack right now. Not like at the moment, but I mean, now I have no Fairy Nectar left. I want to go buy Fairy Nectar. Like I said, I'm not big on IPAs. It's not in my top 5 styles. I think it's around number 9 on my favorite styles list. But I always want to have Fairy Nectar around. Besides, that's a pretty cool label. That is a pretty cool label. Anyways, it's been a good episode. It's been a very productive episode. Try it. If you have it, I won't even say try this. If you can get your hands on something from Kros, try it. I've had 10 of their beers. How many different beers do they brew? Or have they brewed? I don't know. 67. They brewed 67 beers in a little over a year. They're very experimental, obviously, is what that says. I am curious what it says for Pint 9, who is 2 doors down from them. Pint 9 has done 48. I don't know if Pint 9's been there as long as Kros. Actually, that's a big surprise, because Kros to me does not have that feel of a brewery that does a lot of different stuff. They have that feel to me, kind of like Breakaway, where they stick with their main offerings, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You perfect what you do. Well, I'm out of beer. Till next time, Prost.